Egyptian President El-Sisi has discussed efforts to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza and the exchange of detainees with the Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, Sam Austin. They emphasized the importance of reconstructing Gaza according to the Arab Islamic plan and stressed the need to advance towards a two-state solution and establish a Palestinian state in line with international law. They also rejected the use of starvation as a weapon or means of collective punishment against the Palestinians. Egyptian President El-Sisi has emphasized the need to intensify efforts to resume the ceasefire agreements in Gaza and facilitate the detainees. That came during his meeting with the Hungarian parliament speaker. Additionally, El-Sisi stressed the importance of delivering sufficient humanitarian aid to Gaza to address the catastrophic situation faced by the Palestinians. Hamas delegation has concluded discussions with Egyptian officials in Cairo about efforts to broker a ceasefire in Gaza. The agreement includes continued communication towards achieving a comprehensive deal involving a ceasefire, detainees exchange, and reconstruction. The PLO Executive Committee has officially appointed Hussein al-Sheikh as Deputy Chairman and Vice President of the State of Palestine following President Mahmoud Abbas' nomination and the Central Council's April 24th approval. Al-Sheikh is seen as Abbas' likely successor. The committee discussed implementing recent decisions, advancing national dialogue among factions, and addressing the crisis in Gaza. Abbas stressed the urgency of humanitarian aid and full Palestinian governance in Gaza. The committee will reconvene next Saturday to choose a new Secretary General. The Qatari foreign minister has expressed deep concern over the collapse of the Gaza ceasefire, emphasizing the urgent need for renewed efforts to stabilize the region. During a joint press conference with his counterpart in Doha, Qatar is committed to working alongside Egypt and the United States to advance the second phase of the Gaza agreement, which aims to bring lasting peace and humanitarian relief to the area. In addition, the minister underscored the importance of securing the release of detainees in Gaza while condemning the use of starvation as a weapon against Palestinians. He also reaffirmed Qatar's support for the aspirations of the Syrian people, emphasizing the country's dedication to regional stability and humanitarian efforts. Turkey's foreign minister has noted that humanitarian aid has not entered Gaza for nearly 2 months and called for the reopening of crossings to facilitate assistance. That came during a joint press conference with his Qatari counterpart in Doha, where Turkey's foreign minister discussed regional issues and crises, emphasizing Turkish-Qatari efforts to find lasting solutions. He also praised Egyptian and Qatari efforts towards achieving a ceasefire in Gaza, condemned Israel's actions as ethnic cleansing, and reaffirmed the importance of a two-state solution for regional peace and stability. Israeli media reports suggest that the Israeli military is preparing to expand its operations in Gaza if no progress is made in hostage exchange talks within 2 weeks. Sources say a large number of reserve forces will be called up to intensify the conflict. Israeli military sources have confirmed a new regulation requiring soldiers to stay beyond their mandatory service due to a shortage of personnel. Approximately 10,000 soldiers are needed due to the ongoing war in Gaza and unsuccessful recruitment efforts. Families of Israeli detainees have claimed that the Netanyahu government has abandoned both soldiers and captives in Gaza. Reports indicate the army is suffering more casualties, especially in Gaza's Shajaya district, which has been attacked multiple times by Israeli forces. Thousands of Israelis have gathered in Tel Aviv, demanding an end to the war in Gaza and the release of all detainees. The protest included families of detainees and citizens critical of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's policies. Demonstrators held up Palestinian children's photos, whistled, waved flags, and chanted against Netanyahu. They urged the government to de-escalate the conflict, asserting that such steps could facilitate the safe return of those held captive in Gaza. Leader of Israel's Democratic Party, Yair Lapid, has warned that Prime Minister Netanyahu poses a direct risk to hostages and soldiers. Lapid has called for Netanyahu's resignation to secure the safe return of captives and restore security to Israel. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency UNRWA states that Israel has blocked humanitarian aid and commercial goods from entering Gaza since March. The blockade has exacerbated the crisis, with UNRWA calling for an immediate end to the siege. The UN's Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs warns that Gaza's humanitarian situation is worsening, with critical supplies running low due to continued border closures. The UN calls for urgent access to deliver humanitarian aid to prevent widespread famine.